Hi, my name is Elena Minina. I'm here today with these great guys and girls, and I want to talk a bit about all that you wanted to know and what you'd like to ask about Tigersclaw.
Please talk about your extensive musical education, which was presumably classical. How did you get in contact with rock music, and why, and when did you decide to make a career in this genre?
Yes, you're right, it was classic. This education usually begins in an early age. Mine started when I was 3 years old, when I began to sing in a choir. Yes, very small baby. And started to play the piano. My first high education is a professional pianist, and I'm glad because I think that the singer must play musical instruments to be generally more versatile in music. This gives you the ability to create a song in its truest sense of the word. This is briefly the main thing about it. And turning back to the topic of how it happened that I sang all my life arias and romances and then suddenly got into heavy music, I think I was led to this by fate, on the one hand. On the other hand, I've tried singing pop, soul, jazz, musical, and everywhere found its charm. Because different genres can talk with the audience in different ways. And by genres such as power metal or symphonic metal, you can talk to people on serious topics, more serious than in the style of disco, for example. And I always wanted it. And I'm really glad that I have many friends in the section of heavy music here in Russia. They first began to invite me to some small involvements where a voice like mine is required, or my physical appearance. Then I began to think about this subject by myself. I was curious and really interested in this. And then suddenly this project descended on me, Tigersclaw. The stars aligned. Now I'm here.
Elena, please tell us about the first contact with Alexander Bayer from your point of view.
This is a very interesting story. Alex likes to say that it's weird. And I think that it's force of destiny. I became interested in this kind of music, and of course I was looking for the bands who are the trendsetters in this style in social networks and in the internet by a hashtag. Obviously, these are mainly European or American bands, and I came across a picture from the festival in Vaken. I can't say that I was fascinated by the pictures, but I put a like on some of them. And thanks to this random act, Alex found me, saw that I sing, he loved my voice, and he asked me if I would like to try to sing on his material. And with the first notes, I loved these songs. I realized that I wanted to sing them. I wanted to put everything in that accumulated in the process of my creative searches. And the result was that we recorded the album just in a few months.
How was it for you to sing the songs to the files that Alexander had mailed to you in the studio in Moscow, and how much time did that take?
In fact, it was pretty easy to record, because every incoming file for me was a space for creativity. I am very glad that Alexander has given me the freedom to make my own backing vocals, for example. I invented so many extra vocals and sang them by myself and did the recordings with great pleasure. He gave me all freedom to change something in the melodies too, and he liked my amendments because we think in one direction, and that's great. How long does it take? Each song required a different amount of time. Some were recorded in the first take, immediately became comfortable for the voice, some which were more difficult musically or sometimes more difficult because of the lyrics. I had to think about, to sing, to postpone, to return, to repeat. Then I came to the studio, recorded, and sometimes even re-recorded what has been done the previous day. I came home and realized that it's not what I want, and remade in a slightly different manner or changed something in the notes. But most of the time it was fast to record.
The video for the title track Princess of the Dog of your album has been filmed and produced in Moscow and in Germany simultaneously. Talk a bit of its storyboard and especially how it has been technically recorded and done. 2 crews, 2 countries. How did everything come together?
I'm struggling to advertise this video because we are so proud of it, and it was given to us not that simple. This is an epic story. I started with the fact that our label, 7 Hard, to which, by the way, I want to say hello and thank you, said that we need a story video of one of the tracks. They have chosen it, and we fully agreed because it's an absolutely wonderful song, which was a title track of the album, Princess of the Dark. When it became clear that such a video is needed, I asked some of my friends for help, Oля Lobashova and her husband Andrei Lobashov. They came up with the amazing script, of which I has been immediately very fascinated. It was difficult, wildly difficult to execute, but we have decided that we will realize all of their ideas. Besides, I asked my friend, the costume designer, and we came up with this image. The whole story was thought through with her about this character, which I have to act. I already started to think about it when the song was just recorded. This is the character that you can interpret in different ways. But it's always interesting to listen or to watch something when it's not just a pretty picture, but something really meaningful and thoughtful within to even the last detail. For this, you need to treat with this character as some sort of living creature. And we made that up, started shooting, and then it turned out that Moscow is not very happy doing our shoot. The city gave us a terrible disaster, when in June it was snowing and cold as in winter. Except that the hurricane did not happen, for the rest of our shooting each day interfered with the bad weather. It was very hard. In the filming participated a child. You must see this video on YouTube. The child is my daughter. She's only 5 years old, and of course the presence of the child at the shooting is always difficult. But in a scenario we have written such a character that she played, and in fact she was very pleased with this experience. And we were satisfied because it was terribly interesting. Many humorous moments happened during the shooting. For example, in the center of Moscow, when I got dressed in this costume with this crazy makeup, the people came and tried to take a photo with me for their social network. I felt myself as a real princess, which paid a lot of attention on the streets, but sometimes it was even a hindrance. But we are proud of our work. On the Russian side and on German one, we'll tell you more about it. Unfortunately, our band is currently divided into different countries, but in the video, as the director said, the band should be entirely together. And she figured out how to do it. She invented the whole story with the mirrors. For Alex and Ralph, with the film crew in Germany, this meant shooting themselves in front of chroma key. And we would edit all this here in Moscow. And so it happened, the band and the video is entirely together. Telling you again, take a look on the video and enjoy it together with us.
What are you and Tigersclaw doing at the moment after finishing recordings and now finally after the CD release on the 14th of July?
What do we do now? We rejoice in life. We are very happy becoming great interest shown by many magazines and internet portals. Major European magazines write articles, interviews and reviews about us, and they are mostly very positive. We read and become happier. Also, we are very pleased that many radio stations play us. And now we sound from speakers in Germany, France, Canada, USA, Australia. In general, Princess of the Dark is conquering the world. We have some time to enjoy. We are preparing some radio shows, for example, guest shows where we present our music or some of other bands that we were inspired by or on whose work we rely. We also give lots of interviews, like today. And most important, we are preparing the next album. Alex has already written some tracks, and I heard one of them. It is absolutely divine. I fell in love with this music. I want to start recording, but now the work is doing Ralph on drums. The work is bloody because the track is fast, energetic. Want finally to please the fans with new songs. That's all.
Elena, a burning question from all fans of your voice, heavy music and Tigersclaw. Are you planning a trip to Germany to reunite with the band and surprise your fans with live performances?
Yes, really interesting. I dream to get finally the opportunity to go there and embrace my genius guys. This is an unprecedented case, of course, that the band was completely divided. I was in Germany a long time ago, in childhood, and it was quite another matter. Now I finally want to do it, and in this season I would not be me if it finally doesn't happen. About live performances. Yes, this is the burning question that depends on how much interest will be showed to the album and to our music in general. And it depends not only on us, but also, of course, on you, dear listeners. I hope that it will cause really serious resonance, because live performances are a big dream of us. We hope on your help, dear fans. Your interest decides if we're going to play finally on a real live stage. We have such a desire. We want to share with you our energy and our music live.
Elena, say a few words to your fans, fans of heavy music and the whole population of this planet in general.
A message to all people on earth. It is always one and the same. More music, good music around you, such as Tigersclaw. And of course, good mood, enjoy the life. I wish to laugh because I love you all very much. Without you, nothing would have happened. I live for you. That's all. Bye.